l'entendez.
I'm quite intrigued by the idea that Steve Case came up with, from Steve Case of AOL fame. He wrote, I thought, quite an interesting book a while back called The Third Wave, which was how technology was certainly second wave in the consumer internet was very much an island unto itself. And the third wave was where technology was going to crash into all of the hard sectors, as he put it, whether that's kind of healthcare or energy or transport or education, finance, very heavily regulated industries that had very daily impact on people's lives. And he was suggesting that maybe Europe would do extremely well in that third wave because Europe does get regulation, it does get how industries interface with people, and has an ability to change regulation. And I was talking to Benedict Evans the other day, who rather surprised me when he said that he thought that regulation was a competitive advantage of Europe. What do you think about that as an idea? Nicolas, you're from ENA.
GDPR.
Well,
it's an idea I've heard a lot over the years, because when you don't have the large tech companies, but you have the regulations or the regulatory influence at a global level, you're inclined to think that it makes a difference, and in time it will help the continent catch up in the global race for technological development. I've seen enough precedents of that happening, like the government working together with nascent industries to try and design norms that favor local players by pushing them further and forcing them to double down on innovation. There are many precedents of that. One of those is when the Japanese government back in the 1970s forced car manufacturers in Japan to reach a higher level of energy efficiency. And that and when the oil shocks came in the middle of the decade, that made Japanese car manufacturers much more competitive than their US counterparts, and they started, as a result, they started gaining market share in the US. So it's a classical case documented by Michael Porter, no less, but it should help us reflect on how you need to pull two levers at the same time, like supporting the local ecosystem to make sure that entrepreneurs have everything they need to build ambitious companies, and then tweaking the regulations to help them along the way and to force them to be even more ambitious when it comes to output and outcomes.